Good morning, everyone. Time is the one thing in life that is both priceless and non-renewable. No matter how wealthy or powerful you are, you cannot buy back a single moment once it's gone. That's why the way we spend our time determines the quality of our lives. Time is priceless and non-renewable. It is the one resource in life that every person receives in equal measure each day, regardless of wealth, status, or background. Each of us wakes up with the same 24 hours. Yet the way we use them makes all the difference. Unlike money, time cannot be saved in a bank or multiplied through investments. Once a second has passed, it is gone forever, leaving only the impact of how it was spent. This is why understanding the value of time is the first step toward living a meaningful and productive life. When we say that time is priceless, it means there is no amount of currency in the world that can buy it back. Think of moments you've missed. A conversation with a loved one, an opportunity to learn, or a chance to rest and reflect. No matter how much you may wish to return to that moment, it will remain only a memory. This reality can be sobering, but it can also be empowering because it reminds us to be more conscious in how we live each day. Calling time non-renewable emphasizes that it is the only resource that decreases steadily and inevitably. You can regain health through recovery, rebuild wealth after loss, or repair relationships after conflict. But you can never regain the hours you've already spent. Every tick of the clock is a gentle but persistent reminder that life is moving forward, and it urges us to use what we have left wisely. Understanding this truth encourages us to think before we act, to pause before we commit, and to prioritize before we spend. If every minute is a currency that can be spent only once, then we should invest it in experiences, people, and activities that matter most. Intentional living is more important than constant busyness, because being busy does not always mean being productive or fulfilled. Many people fill their schedules with endless tasks, meetings, and obligations, thinking that a packed day equals a meaningful life. In reality, busyness can often be a distraction from what truly matters. It can keep us moving, but not necessarily moving forward. Intentional living shifts the focus from doing more to doing what truly aligns with our values, goals, and purpose. When you live intentionally, every activity has a reason behind it. You choose where to spend your energy instead of letting demands and distractions pull you in every direction. This means prioritizing quality over quantity, focusing on fewer but more impactful actions instead of scattering your attention across countless tasks. For example, spending an hour having a deep conversation with someone you care about can be far more valuable than completing 10 minor chores that will soon be forgotten. Constant busyness often leaves little room for reflection, rest, or creativity. When we are always rushing from one task to another, we lose the ability to pause and ask ourselves if what we are doing actually matters. Intentional living builds in space for these moments of clarity. It allows us to assess whether our daily choices contribute to our larger vision or if we're simply filling time to avoid stillness. By slowing down and being more deliberate, we can create a life that feels purposeful rather than exhausting. Another danger of constant busyness is that it can create a false sense of accomplishment. Checking things off a to-do list feels satisfying, but if those tasks don't align with our long-term goals, we are merely spinning our wheels. Intentional living replaces this false productivity with genuine progress. It teaches us to ask, why am I doing this? And is this the best use of my time right now? That simple shift in thinking can transform how we approach each day, ensuring that our actions are guided by purpose, not pressure. Prioritizing meaningful activities that align with values and goals is the foundation of a life well lived. Too often, people get caught up in activities that consume their time but do not contribute to their growth, happiness, or purpose. When you focus on what truly matters, you ensure that your efforts are directed toward building the life you envision, not one that is dictated by external pressures or fleeting trends. This requires selflessness, knowing your core values, understanding your goals, and recognizing what genuinely fulfills you. Without this clarity, it's easy to drift through life without a sense of direction. Choosing meaningful activities means making intentional trade-offs. Choosing meaningful activities over late nights at the office. If personal growth is a priority, depth, if many help, depth by experiencing is making risk. Just think, these choices may sometimes require saying no to attractive opportunities or social invitations, but they create a life that is more aligned and satisfying. Meaningful activities often bring a sense of fulfillment that goes beyond immediate gratification. While entertainment, casual socializing, or aimless browsing can be enjoyable in moderation, they rarely provide the deep satisfaction that comes from working toward a meaningful goal, helping someone in need, or creating something of lasting value. Prioritizing such activities adds depth to our days and builds a stronger sense of purpose. Over time, transforms our perception of success from one based on external approval to one rooted in personal meaning. Aligning your actions with your values also reduces feelings of regret and wasted time. When your daily activities reflect what is most important to you, even challenges and setbacks feel worthwhile because they are part of a bigger picture you truly care about. This alignment creates internal harmony, where your choices, habits, and long-term vision are in sync. It's not about doing everything, it's about doing the right things, the ones that matter most to you and help you move closer to the life you want to live. Reducing time-wasting habits like excessive scrolling or worrying is essential for reclaiming control over our days. Modern life offers countless distractions, many of them cleverly designed to keep us hooked. Social media, endless video feeds, and mindless web surfing can consume hours before we even realize it. These habits often masquerade as harmless breaks, but over time they chip away at the moments we could spend on more meaningful activity. The same is true for overthinking and worrying, mental habits that drain our energy without producing any real solutions. By identifying and minimizing these patterns, we free up valuable time for growth, connection, and creativity. Excessive scrolling not only wastes time, but also affects our mental and emotional well-being. The constant influx of curated images and sensational headlines can distort our perception of reality, fuel comparison, and create unnecessary anxiety. This mental clutter distracts us from what truly matters, pulling our attention away from real-life relationships and goals. By setting limits on screen time, practicing digital minimalism, or creating phone-free periods, we can shift our focus back. Periods, we can shift our focus back to activities that nourish, drain. Worrying, while different from digital distractions, is just as time consuming and unproductive. We often spend hours replaying past events or imagining worst-case scenarios that may never happen. This mental loop not only robs us of the present moment, but also leaves us feeling powerless. Mindfulness practices, journaling, or reframing negative thoughts into actionable steps. Instead of letting fear dictate our time, we can choose to direct our energy towards solutions and opportunities. When we consciously reduce these time-wasting habits, we make room for more enriching experiences. Minutes once lost to scrolling could be spent learning a new skill, connecting deeply with someone, or simply resting in a way that truly recharges us. Hours once consumed by worry could be redirected toward purposeful action or joyful presence. Over time, this shift creates a powerful compounding effect. Small choices each day that lead to a life lived with greater awareness, fulfillment, and intention. Investing time in growth, learning, relationships, and dreams is one of the most rewarding uses of the hours we are given each day. Growth is not something that happens by accident. It is the result of deliberate choices and consistent effort. Whether it's expanding your knowledge, strengthening bonds with loved ones, or taking steps toward personal ambitions, these investments pay dividends that last far longer than momentary pleasures. Unlike entertainment or idle distractions, time spent on growth creates a lasting impact, shaping not only who we are today, but also who we will become tomorrow. Learning is a cornerstone of personal growth. In a rapidly changing world, knowledge and skills are more valuable than ever. Setting aside time to read, attend courses, or practice new abilities enriches our minds and keeps us adaptable. The hours we dedicate to learning compound in value. What we study today can open doors years later, offering opportunities and insights that might otherwise have been missed. More importantly, learning nurtures curiosity, keeps the mind sharp, and gives us a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world. Relationships are another vital area where our time yields immeasurable returns. Meaningful connections with family, friends, and mentors give our lives purpose, support, and joy. Investing time in relationships means showing up, listening deeply, and making the effort to strengthen bonds even when life gets busy. Unlike possessions or achievements, relationships have the power to provide emotional resilience and shared happiness, enriching life in ways that material things never could. These connections, built and maintained over time, often become the most treasured aspects of our lives. Pursuing dreams is perhaps the most personal form of growth. Dreams require dedication, patience, and courage, and they often demand sacrifices in the present for rewards in the future. Whether it's starting a business, writing a book, mastering an instrument, or traveling the world, devoting time to dreams ensures we live with intention rather than regret. Every small step toward a dream strengthens our sense of purpose and reminds us that life is not just about passing time. It's about making time count for something we truly care about. Protecting your time by saying no to distractions and draining tasks is one of the most powerful skills you can develop. Many people feel pressure to say yes to every request, opportunity, or invitation, fearing they will disappoint others or miss out. However, constantly agreeing to things that don't serve your values or goals leads to an overcrowded schedule and an overwhelmed mind. Time is a finite resource, and guarding it fiercely ensures that it is reserved for activities that matter most. Every yes you give to something unimportant is a silent no to something that could be meaningful. Distractions come in many forms. They can be digital, like constant notifications and irrelevant emails, or personal, like engaging in gossip or being pulled into someone else's urgency. While these interruptions may seem small, their cumulative effect is enormous. They break focus, drain energy, and consume mental space. By setting boundaries, turning off unnecessary alerts, and creating focused work periods, you take back control of your attention. In doing so, you not only free up time but also enhance the quality of the time you do spend on important work or personal growth. Draining tasks, on the other hand, are often activities that leave you feeling depleted without offering any real value in return. These could be repetitive chores that can be automated, commitments made out of obligation rather than choice, or projects that no longer align with your priorities. Learning to delegate, streamline, or completely remove such tasks from your routine is an act of self-respect. By freeing yourself from these energy sinks, you create more space for meaningful pursuits that inspire and energize you. Saying no may feel uncomfortable at first, but it becomes easier with practice, especially when you realize that every refusal is actually a choice to protect what is most important to you. It is not about shutting people out or avoiding responsibilities. It is about making conscious decisions that honor your time and well-being. When you guard your time in this way, you set a standard for how others treat it as well. Over time, this boundary setting becomes a natural part of living intentionally, allowing you to focus on what truly moves your life forward. Measuring life by quality, not length, focusing on deep, purposeful moments shifts the way we see our existence. Many people talk about wanting a long life, but longevity alone does not guarantee fulfillment. It is possible to live many years without truly living at all, just as it is possible for a short life to be rich in meaning, connection, and impact. The value of our days comes from what we do with them, the experiences we create, the relationships we nurture, and the contributions we make to something greater than ourselves. Deep, purposeful moments have the power to shape our identity and leave a lasting impression on others. These moments might be as grand as achieving a lifelong dream, or as simple as sharing an honest conversation under the stars. They are often born from being fully present, listening without distraction, engaging with sincerity, and appreciating the uniqueness of the moment. When we measure life by such experiences, we prioritize authenticity over our appearances and presence over mere activity. Focusing on quality means we deliberately create opportunities for meaning. This might involve pursuing work that aligns with our values, dedicating time to causes we believe in, or building traditions with loved ones that become cherished memories. Even challenges can contribute to the quality of life when they lead to growth, resilience, or a deeper understanding of ourselves. It's not about avoiding difficulty, but about ensuring that our struggles and victories alike are part of a life that feels worth living. When we shift from counting years to counting meaningful moments, our perspective changes entirely. We stop rushing to fit in as much as possible and start being selective about what truly matters. This way of thinking encourages us to be intentional, to embrace experiences that enrich our spirit, and to let go of pursuits that are empty or unfulfilling. In the end, a life filled with depth, purpose, and connection becomes far more valuable than one that is long but hollow. In the end, time is the silent thread weaving through every moment of our lives. It asks for no payment, yet demands wise stewardship. We cannot control how much of it we are given, but we can control how we use it. Each choice we make to be present, to grow, to connect, to protect or focus shapes the story we leave behind. So let us spend our time not in the shadows of regret or the haze of distraction, but in the light of purpose and meaning, because when our final day comes, it will not be the length of our life that matters most, but the depth of the moments we truly lived.